What's up, guys? This is Chris here from Honest Outlaw, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite guns. We're going to be going over my BCM 11.5 pistol. Now, this thing's gone through some changes over the past couple of years, different parts, things like that. Currently, it is running mostly Bravo Company products, but we do have some stuff hanging off the edge of it and things like that we'll talk about, and I did make a couple of changes. I do want to mention, though, as far as stock guns coming out of the factory, I think Bravo Company is among some of the best, and arguably some of the best for the money. Now, I know they're not cheap, but they are kind of middle of the road, especially by comparison to maybe something like LMT or Knights or Daniel Defense, which BCM certainly enters the conversation with those guns and with those companies, and they do it, in my opinion, for, at least from what I've seen, a little bit less cost. You can get one of these uppers for around $700, which is generally what I would suggest. Just get the upper, because that's the most important part anyway, and then you can get whatever lower you want. However, I happen to have an upper and a lower both from Bravo Company. You don't have to do that, but it does make it cooler, in my personal opinion, so you win some cool points. However, I think any lower will do. I use a lot of 2A armament lowers because they're a little bit lighter than the BCM, 2 or 3 ounces lighter, but they work the same, and I think it's cool to have the matching upper and lower set, at least on one of my guns. Now, an 11.5 AR is a really good choice for an overall do-it-all gun because it just is the shortest possible amount, in my opinion, that you could go while still having good ballistic capabilities out to 150 yards, getting those temporal cavities, getting that tumbling, all that fun stuff that comes with the velocity of something over 11.5 inches within 150 yards. That is a real sweet spot, in my opinion, for not only the ballistic capability, but the dwell time as well. If you get to 10.5, that's really the shortest you want to go, but even at 10.5, you're going to get more recoil than you will 11.5, and you're going to get less reliability and overall parts durability, which is what you get with a little bit longer barrel. 1 inch doesn't mean a lot in a lot of barrel lengths, but between 11.5 to 10.5, that 1 inch matters a lot. So a couple of things that I've done to this gun is change the grip on it to a Magpul XL grip. We've changed the safety to a Radian and the charging handle as well. The reason why is I like the AMB charging handle from Bravo Company, but it tends to stick in my side a lot when I'm carrying it. And these do a little bit as well, but not nearly as much as the pointy edge of the BCM. So for whatever reason, I like the grip of the Radian and the Geisley better, so I generally go with those. We also did a low mass system in this. I have a lot of Bravo Company bolt carriers and a lot of other guns, but coincidentally the ones I use the most, I generally switch out to JP. Now, I've seen a lot of videos, especially recently, where people talk about low mass carriers and how unreliable they are. I'm not going to get into that too much. I'm not going to get in the weeds too much, but how much reliability do you need? Because competitive shooters traditionally use low mass carriers with low mass systems. Predominantly the JP system as well is the most popular. It's won many championships. And although a lot of people say that it's unreliable, it's less durable, those guys shoot tens of thousands of rounds a year. Tens of thousands of rounds. And I feel like if these were so unreliable, they wouldn't run these. I mean, I don't know if you've ever ran a competition, but you can't shoot fast enough to make up for a couple of malfunctions. You're going to be clearing malfunctions, it's going to fuck your stage up, and it's going to mess with your mental fortitude there, and it's not a good thing. I personally have no problems with the JP system. Now, that might be because the JP system is arguably the best low mass carrier. Now, Brownells has a system out there that I like, and so does Cryptek Coatings. I own both of those and use those. And I've got thousands of rounds down those, and they have no issues. What I like about the low mass system is it does give you a little bit less recoil. It also gives you a little bit less overall heft, which is kind of nice on these short, light, handy carbines. And I happen to have one, so I put it in there. Do you need it? Absolutely not. The BCM works great. We do have a BCM barrel in here, and we also have the gas block, and we also have the KMCR whatever rail. It's Bravo Company's M-Lock rail, and it's arguably one of the best. Not only is it very, very lightweight, which is really nice. BCM originally came out with their lightweight key mod system and then switched to M-Lock predominantly, but I still have a key mod rail from them. And they were some of the pioneers, not the only. I think Noveski was the first to come out with like key mod and stuff, but they were some of the pioneers, and they make arguably some of the best rails on the market. The Bravo Company rail is very durable. It will hold zero as far as lasers, lights, and things like that go, but it doesn't sacrifice weight, coming in very, very light by comparison to most modern rails, even something like the Geisley rail. I think this is a 10-inch on an 11.5, yep, and it gives me plenty of room even for my big, long, gangly arms to put all my accessories on there. I got a mini Scout and I have, oh, I forget what hand grip this is. People are gonna be so mad at me. I think it's like Vendetta Precision or something like that. If you know, put it in the comment section below. We're gonna do a full review on it shortly. We also have the Canuter valve on there and an aim point Comp M5 because I'm kitting this gun out to be one of my home defense guns. I have a BCM already. I have a Daniel Defense Mark 18, and then I have a BCM 300 Blackout that I switch in and out for home defense all the time. And I wanted to have a more universal, like, if the world ended right now, take this gun and go gun. So I wanted to go with a pistol instead of an SBR, and I also wanted to run a Comp M5 because of the battery capability. It's just easier to find the AAAs. So I wanted to build like a WROL style home defense gun that would also fit really well for my wife. And I give you a philosophy of my build because it's important. Like, just because I built this doesn't mean this works for you. I build all my guns for a specific purpose or kit them out for a specific purpose. I also have a tendency to test and evaluate products because that's my job. So that's what we're gonna be doing on these. I'm pretty sure the Comp M5 is good to go, but I've never owned one, so we're gonna try that. And I also am wildly unfamiliar with the, I believe this is the T-Rex arm sling, and we're gonna be trying that out. I've had that for about a year now, but I don't run it very much because I have a lot of Vickers slings and I like those, but we're gonna be doing a review on that as well. And I'm not a big pressure pad guy, so the reason why this isn't zip tied down yet is because I'm still playing with where I want it as far as in relation to the hand stop. Now, I know where I want it as far as in relation to the vertical grip, but hand stop I grip a little bit differently, so this might change position throughout the video. None of this is Loctited down or anything like that because any of these accessories may change. Today is not a review of this gun as much as it is just essentially a first shots of a gun that I've kitted out and I want to see how it operates, and then I'm probably going to change it in the future, do a future video, and so on. So if you've got any advice or anything you want me to latch on or bolt onto this gun for future videos, let me know in the comment section as well. Now, before we go do the shooting portion of this, I do want to mention, if you like this video, please go down and hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell. A lot of people tell me they're not seeing my videos, so go down and click that bell. I'd appreciate that. Also, I do want to mention the page supporters. Page supporters help out buying all these products, including the ammunition. My page supporters just recently bought me a whole bunch more frangible ammunition to run on the steel super close so we can do some CQB stuff. So if you like the channel, that's the best way to support it. And I also want to mention a link to a local shelter in Ames, Iowa. It's the YSS. Just go down to that link and donate to those kids because it's a good thing to do. Now, I'm not exactly sure how I have this gun adjusted as far as the weight in the buffer tube and the, I have it where I think I want it, but if we see some short strokes and stuff, we're gonna have to make some adjustments. Also, I don't have the optic zeroed. It was zeroed on another gun, so let's see if it's zeroed on this one. I know that would be lucky. We'll have to fine tune it, obviously, but. Oh, it's pretty close. We're at 75. Well, I hit that 10-inch plate from here, so it's pretty close. Oh yeah. All right, so I shot 2 separate 3-round grooves. The reason why is it's unbelievably bright outside, and I like to zero at the lowest illumination on the dot that I can see the dot. The problem is one is really bright and the other one is so dim I can barely see it. So I shot one on really low and I shot one on really high just to confirm, because we're at 50 yards and I just want to make sure I got a good group. I wasn't sure about the previous, so that's why I was switching it back and forth. All right, now this is some interesting results. I wonder if this has to do with the heat or what's going on here, but hopefully you guys see the channel and know that I can shoot fairly well. And these groups are not so good as that I'm at 50 yards. You can see this is my first group here, or this was my first group here, my 2-shot group. And then I tried to re-zero, and this was my second group right here. Okay? So without adjusting the optic at all, I just turned up the brightness. And as I said, it's hard to see the target with the brightness turned up, but this is the group we got here. So as you can see, this is way low right, whereas this is kind of hovering. It's still right, but it's hovering over the target, which I think is kind of interesting, honestly, because I'm not really sure what went on there. And if you guys do know, let me know in the comment section below. We'll have to shoot. I'm obviously still right a little bit, but I'm not going to adjust my up and down. And we'll adjust left a little bit and shoot another group and see. But we're looking at, like, I mean, that's an inch group at 50 yards. And I guess that's 2 MOA. That's not so bad. But I actually expected better, considering the BCM 300 Blackout shot better than that. And the Scar that I shot recently shot better than that. And what else did I shoot? I shot something else. Oh, the SIG. The old SIG 556 shot better than that too. All right, quick groups again, but we'll take a look at that one. Okay. All right, so I pushed it 6 clicks left, and we ended up way over here. I did raise it up a little bit, and that's about the adjustment I'm looking for there. So we're gonna have to go back right a little bit, but I'm not showing you this just because I want to show you how to sight in a gun. I know you guys know how to sight in a gun. I'm just showing you this because we're also inadvertently getting groups, and I kind of want to show you the group size of the gun because it's 11.5 pistol, but it's still shooting about 2 MOA, which certainly is pretty good, especially for that federal 55 grain ammo I'm shooting out of it right now. I mean, it's not as accurate as the previous rifles we're shooting, but I haven't thrown any Hornady like 75 or anything in it yet, or anything super match. So I'm sure we can get those groups tighter. And honestly, I mean, for 50 yards, 2-inch group for a home defense gun is more than accurate enough. I also live on a farm though. I live on a big ranch, so I occasionally have to shoot things that are 4-legged creatures from a distance with my home defense guns, because my home defense guns also serve as my ranch guns. So I want to make sure it's very accurate in case I got to, you know, brain a coyote or something at 100 yards. So yeah, we'll get it zeroed in, but that's not bad. Well, we got that plate rack, so we're definitely zeroed. All right, so I think practical accuracy on a home defense AR like this, I mean, I know like my accuracy challenge for myself is generally like a headshot at 50 yards. If I can do a 6-inch plate at 50 yards consistently, that's more than enough accuracy for me for a home defense gun. But for a rifle, I like to be able to do that at 100. So I'll probably just shoot a few 6-inch plates here at 50 and then go back to 100 and see how we do before the gun gets too hot. So yeah, you can run a plate rack really easy at 50 yards. That's all the accuracy we're gonna need for home defense. Well, let's go back and see how much more we can get out of it. So I was gonna use the trash can, but it's hot and it smells. So we're gonna try to shoot these plates offhand. I can only actually see 4 or 5 of them here. We'll give that a shot. This is more a test of marksmanship for me than the gun. Not bad. All right, so plate rack at 100 yards, not a problem for the BCM 11.5. So the wind fucked our VTAC barricade up. I left it out during a windstorm, and an Iowa windstorm is really something to behold. Oh, sling's too tight. This thing handles a lot better than my 300 Blackout does, that's for sure. All right, so now we got some of the poly frange in there, the frangible 5.56 ammo. Now I know I usually shoot this like 50 yards and in, and we're at 50 yards right now, but I do want to test some of the accuracy of the ammo, and I also do want to test and see if I have a holdover issue. What?
They're here.
Ready?
Okay.
Ooh, we do have quite the accuracy difference. I can't hit those 6-inch plates to save my life. Oh, I'm out. It's starting to go pretty quick though. All right, so far, so good. We had good reliability, we had pretty good accuracy. We were shooting about 2 MOA with 55 grain Federal. And then when we switched to the frangible, we had all sorts of a change of impact issue, but up close we were good to go. So I did not zero the frangible ammo, because why would I? Serious situation, I'd want to use actual 5.56 anyway. So I have it zeroed for that, and we'll just have to figure out Kentucky winches on frangible, but I only shoot frangible up close really anyway, you know, so it's not that big of a deal. As far as accuracy goes, awesome accuracy, ergonomics are on point, all the controls I really liked, all the position of everything felt really good, anywhere from the light down to the grip. Now the speed of the gun was actually a lot more impressive than I thought, and that is due to the low mass system. It's just a little bit faster, a little bit less recoil, a little bit more tuned than a standard BCM rifle. That being said, not much better. I can shoot them very similar, but this one was a little bit more pleasant and a little bit easier to shoot. On top of that, you can actually change your buffer tube system for frangible or not. The suppressor worked extremely well. Overall, a good bit of sound mitigation and blast mitigation for as small as the Canuter valve is. The aim point worked amazing, as aim points generally do. Very similar sight picture to the T2, what I'm used to. The ScalarWorks 197 mount. The tall mount from ScalarWorks is the one I'm running right now because I got a big fat fucking face and it's hard to fit on there, so I actually really like these. I wish I never would have found this thing, because now I'm going to switch out all my lower 1/3 to this and it's going to cost me like $1,000. As far as the safety, the grip, and the Geisley trigger, which I forgot to mention, all those worked extremely well as they usually do. Most of those products I have in a lot of my different guns. Now, some of you are going to be asking me why I ran with the SBA-4 instead of the SBA-3. And that's because the SBA-4 is actually a little bit bigger and a little bit longer, and that helps with my length of pull issues, you know, putting my face on it and stuff like that. Overall though, I think it is one of the best guns I've ever made, and certainly a gun that is in contention for my main home defense gun. The next video we do with this, we're actually going to take it out with the missus, and she's going to shoot it for you and give her impressions. So if you want us to change anything, or you want us to put anything on it for her video, or you have any tips or anything like that, make sure to leave it in the comment section below. If you have any requests for future videos with this gun or these accessories, let us know in the comment section below as well. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and obviously stay tuned for future videos with this gun. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and I'll check you later.
Oh my God, Becky, it is so bright.
It is hot too.
Yeah.
Hot for Iowa anyway. Like 90-ish is hot for Iowa.
Listen, all you desert people, we know it gets hotter. We know it gets hotter, but we're in Iowa.
It's true, where it gets like 40 below. So I know it gets hotter where you live. It gets colder where I live.
Uh-huh.